Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kseniya and I make videos for people who are going through the family immigration process. I'm not an immigration attorney. My videos are based on publicly available information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. Today, I'm making an updated video about the steps that you will need to take in order for your parents to obtain a green card. So today's video will cover the general steps that you will need to take, the forms that you will generally have to file, as well as some evidence that you will need to provide for the petition. And if you have any additional questions throughout the video, I will point you to other video resources that I have on my channel. So now without further ado, let's get into the video. Like in any family-based green card case, the first required step is to file the form I-130, which is also known as the petition for alien relative. If you're petitioning only one parent, then only one I-130 petition is required, but if you're petitioning both of your parents, then you will need to file a separate I-130 for each of them and pay a separate fee. Only U.S. citizens over the age of 21 can file for their parents. So if you're not yet a U.S. citizen, you may not file the I-130 petition. And also, if you're not yet 21, you also may not file the petition. This and many additional questions are also covered in my parent petition Q&A video, which will be linked in the description box as well as in the top right corner now. You may do it by mail, so sending in the I-130 by mail, or you also now have an option to file the I-130 online, which a lot of people find significantly easier because the form itself will guide you through the questions that you will need to answer as well as what evidence you will need to upload. You may use your USCIS account, which you use to apply for naturalization, for example, to file the I-130 petition. And you will obviously have to start a separate I-130 application in your USCIS account for each parent. In my parent petition playlist, you will also soon be able to find the I-130 step-by-step guide for parents. So at the time of you filing the I-130 petition, you will need the following evidence. Firstly, you will need proof of your U.S. citizenship, such as a copy of your U.S. birth certificate, a copy of your U.S. passport, or a copy of your naturalization certificate. The next thing you will need is to provide the proof of your relationship to your parents. If you're filing for your biological mother, all you will need to provide is a copy of your birth certificate. If you're filing for your biological father, aside from a copy of your birth certificate, you will also need to provide a copy of your parents' marriage certificate to show that you were indeed born in wedlock. If you are filing for your parents, such as your father, and you were born out of wedlock, there is additional evidence that you will need to provide, which you can find in the I-130 instructions. And if you're filing for a step-parent, you will need to not only provide your birth certificate, but also your biological parent and your step-parent's marriage certificate showing that they were married prior to your 18th birthday. So if your biological parent and your step-parent got married after your 18th birthday, unfortunately, you will not be able to petition for your step-parent. In cases like step-parents, petitioners born out of wedlock, or adopted petitioners, like I said, there is additional evidence that you may need to provide, which you can also find in the form I-130 instructions. Additional evidence that you may be asked to provide depending on your personal circumstances is divorce decrees, such as if any of your parents have been married in the past and have been divorced or widowed, you will need to provide proof of that. In addition, you may be asked to provide proof of name change in the form of any kind of official documents showing proof of name change, either of the petitioner yourself or one of your parents. If they also have changed their name, surname, if they had a maiden name, for example, you will need to provide additional proof of that. So as you can see, the list of required evidences for the I-130 petition is not as extensive as it would be, for example, if you were filing for your spouse. For example, you do not have to provide 2 inches by 2 inches passport style photographs, third-party affidavits, etc. However, if you are lacking any of the required evidences in your case, or like I mentioned earlier, if there is additional evidence required in your case, you will have an opportunity to either attach it with your I-130 petition by mail, or also upload it if you're filling out the I-130 petition online. So after the form I-130 is filed, there's generally one of two routes that you will have to take. And it all depends on where your parents currently reside. If your parents are currently residing in the United States and you have decided to file for their adjustment of status, that is, of course, if they're eligible to file for adjustment of status based on other inadmissibility grounds. But in the case of adjustment of status, you may be able to send the I-485 form, which is the actual green card application, as well as some additional forms that will have to be attached to this form. And I do have a video talking specifically about supporting documents required for the form I-485. For example, the I-864 affidavit of support and the I-693 medical examination form. So all of those documents and some additional required as well as optional forms will then be sent by mail with the I-485 application. And in a case of immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, you do not actually have to wait for the I-130 petition to be approved before filing the green card application. In a lot of cases, applicants are able to send both of those forms by mail at the same time, or file the I-130 online and then follow it up immediately by mail with the I-485 application and all the rest of the forms. If, however, your parents are currently outside of the United States and you decided to do consular process, in this situation, you first have to wait for the I-130 petition to be approved. The approved petition will then be transferred to the National Visa Center, the NVC, for further processing. The NVC will then send you an email once they create an online SEAC account where you will be able to pay the additional fees and submit the additional applications, as well as upload all the necessary supporting and civil documents. During the consular process, for example, you will be asked to pay the affidavit of support and the immigrant visa application fee and fill out the forms like I-864, DS-260, and upload civil documents such as your parents' birth certificate, police clearance certificates, etc. And by the way, any evidence that is being submitted to USCIS or the Department of State that is not in English must be translated. And if you're uploading any documents online, it is always best to attach the translation and the copy of the original document in the same PDF file. So for adjustment of status applicants, once you have submitted all the forms and applications, the next natural step is for your parents to attend the biometrics appointment, which is a very quick appointment where they will give their photo, signature, and collect additional biometric data like fingerprints. And after the biometrics appointment, for adjustment of status applicants, especially parents, the next natural step is to hopefully receive an approval of their 10-year green card. There is no interview for parents of U.S. citizens applying for adjustment of status. If, however, you're doing consular process, once the NVC accepts and approves of all of your documents, you will receive an additional email which says that your case is now documentarily qualified. This means that they will begin scheduling your consular interview. Depending on what country your parents are doing consular process in, will also determine how long they will have to wait for their interview. Some countries will only have to wait a few weeks or a few months, and in some countries, unfortunately, the interview scheduling process can take 6 months to a year or even a year and a half. Prior to the interview, your parents will then be asked to complete a medical examination. Once the interview is scheduled and the medical exam is complete, your parents will then attend the consular interview. Their biometrics will be taken at the consular interview, and they will give in their passport for further processing. And after that, hopefully they will receive their approved immigrant visa by mail in the passport, which will look like a regular visa sticker in the passport. And upon arrival to the United States, then they will be able to receive their physical green card in the mail, as well as their social security card. So that is just a quick summary of some general steps that have to be taken for your parents to receive a green card. Let's quickly talk about the fees. Please keep in mind that the fees are subject to change in early 2024. So the fees that we're talking about today may not necessarily be the same a few months from now. In order to double check the correct fees, you can always utilize the USCIS fee calculator tool. The fee for the I-130 form is at this point $535. This fee is the same for everyone. For adjustment of status applicants, so if your parents are applying from inside the US, the Form I-485 fee at this point is $1,225, which includes both the form fee and the biometrics fee. For consular applicants, the current fees are $120 for the affidavit of support processing and $325 for the immigrant visa application, the DS-260 application. After the consular interview, you will also have to pay an additional fee of $220, which is known as the immigrant fee, and that will be the fee to process the actual physical green card upon arrival to the United States. And additional expenses will include the medical examination fees, but those vary by doctor and by country in which you are completing the medical exam. And if you're doing the medical in the United States, then the fees also vary. If you have any additional questions about parent petitions, parent green cards, I just made a video answering some common questions in regards to this specific topic, which you can find in the parent petition, parent green card playlist that I have on my channel. As you can see, the process for parents is fairly straightforward, and I wish you a lot of luck in this process. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!